Hello everyone, and welcome to Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. I can't remember if it'll be in here or not. I know there's a save file somewhere of it in here. Yeah, unfortunately I have some bad news that, oh man, I don't know how much I'll be talking about. I don't want the whole recording session to be me talking about it. So many of these games I haven't actually played. It's somewhere in here. I would just like to show it because... Is that Joe Thornton? I think that's Joe Thornton. That could be Marty Brodeur. Looks like whoever the previous owner really loved his Xbox. Really loved his NHL. Anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. There's a Hero's Tale. You think it would be close, but... There we go. I don't know how I feel about that art. What do you guys think about that art? Legend of Spyro. It looks a little goofy. Anyway. I'm sorry for the really rambly beginning here. I've just been very unfocused in the last almost 2 weeks. We're getting close to 2 weeks at least. So not to get too, hopefully too off track here, too rambly, but my cat has disappeared. Smudge, I know I've mentioned him a lot of times before, how his cat post, which isn't currently in my room, it's outside on the deck. He would be looking down at me or like really unimpressed, or I know I've mentioned him before. Last Tuesday, it was 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning when I let him out, and he hasn't come back. And I've done just about everything I can to find him. I've searched my whole property. I've gone and talked to neighbors. I've put up lost posters. I've done these things like putting food, treats, like, there's conflicting advice out there on what you should and shouldn't do, and it's hard. But my point is, I basically have tried everything that has been suggested or that I've read. And yeah, he hasn't come back. The only thing left that I was gonna do was I wanted to put up new posters because we don't have a color printer at our house. So while I did put up posters, I made really big fancy ones on like poster paper, like a bright green or a strong green. It'd be hard to miss, but unfortunately the weather has just kind of took a toll on it all. I'd taken most of them and fell off or got worn out or whatever, so yeah, I want to put new ones that will be waterproof. And once I put those ones up, which was meant to be tonight, but unfortunately I was just really tired and I slept past the time I needed to get up to go to Staples and get them to print them out. So yeah, if I feel like it's hard, and I've had these dreams, not every night, but almost every night, where I see Smudge. Sometimes in my last dream last night, it felt like almost that whole dream I was just chasing him, but I could never catch him, or anytime I thought I'd catch him, it'd be a different cat, and that was hard. So, if I ever seem unfocused or anything during this little recording session, that's why. again, I may talk about it a little bit more, but I obviously don't want the whole recording session to be sad. I just kind of feel like, as I said before, with these recording sessions, it's kind of nice to just be able to get some stuff. Well, it's not like I haven't talked to this about with anyone else. Obviously, it's just being able to speak it out loud. It's just, it feels good. It feels nice. So good. That's funny. So yeah, but to get more on topic here, the Legend of Spyro series, or trilogy in this case, is one I'm partially familiar with. I've only played, and I've mentioned this before, I've only played the last game in the series. Well, besides play testing this and the next game just to make sure they work. And kind of fun fact, this is the only Legend of Spyro game on the original Xbox, because after this these games were kind of coming out during the transition period from the 6th to the 7th generation, right? And the 2006 was kind of the last big year that the original Xbox would get games, or like a substantial amount of games. 2007 saw a few, and then there was like just the one football game in 2008, and it's kind of like, why did they even bother, you know? So yeah. I think I've mentioned before, so yeah, it's like this game's on the original Xbox, the GameCube, the PS2, and then the second game is on the PS2 and Wii. It's funny because, like, at least the PS2 was already like it was the best-selling console of all time, and the Wii would go on to be the second best-selling console of all time. So it's like, you really stood for two platforms, but they were both two of the best-selling platforms. So that's funny. And I'm debating on how I'm going to be doing the third game. I obviously own it on the 360 downloaded, but I don't. But the game did get a PS2 release, and it's on the Wii. And from what I've looked at, the PS2, if I want to get a PS2 copy, they're pretty expensive. So I'm not sure at this point if I will be doing that version, that release. Like whatever one's first. Obviously, we still have to get through the first game and the second game before we get to the third game. So I have time to think about that. And it's funny, I talk about my cat going missing, but the thing is, I don't even know when this video will go up. Ever since he's been missing, I haven't really had much desire to edit videos. Like, I got the second last recording session of Everything or Nothing done. Now I just have like the 5-hour one, which is gonna need a lot of love, a lot of work, because the audio did get desynced, I found, over time. So I have to manually resync the audio. I have to separate the audio file and then do my best to sync that up manually. But with my cat missing, I just haven't had that drive to do that, right? The TOI games trilogy, we'll get to that at some point too. So I hope you guys understand that. Oh yeah, soundtracks, look at that. Definitely not gonna delete those. And in fact, like, I haven't even edited the Haunted Mansion stuff, which, you know, at this point, Halloween's over a month ago. So that's the thing. I think I'll stop rambling here. We'll get to the start of the game again. I've only seen the beginning just to make sure the game is working and whatnot. But otherwise, I know nothing. So without further ado, let's get the game started, shall we? Alright, and I'm back. I know for you guys that was probably didn't really notice anything, but for me, just because of how it loses that brief signal for a moment, I like to restart the recording and just edit it together because better safe than sorry. I don't want to risk the audio getting messed up or anything.
In the year of the dragon, in a world beyond the realms, I, like all the others, awaited the birth of the dragon of whom the prophecies foretold. But the Dark Master heard the prophecies as well. I should have hidden the eggs long before, but I thought we were ready. I thought they were safe. Oh, how I was wrong. Save them! The dark armies have come! May the ancestors look after you. May they look after us all. Eventually, the egg came to rest in a distant swamp, where a family of dragonflies gathered round, wondering what magnificent creature could possibly live inside. They didn't have to wonder for long. What emerged from the egg frightened them at first, but finally amazed and astonished them.
8, 9, 10. Here I come!
It was a purple dragon, who they eventually adopted and raised as one of their own. They named him Spyro, and he grew up alongside Sparks, the young dragonfly who was born the same day. In fact, the two were almost like brothers, and a more oddly matched yet compatible pair of brothers the world has never seen.
Never catch me this time, Purple Boy.
As for Spyro, he, like all of us, accepted the world into which he was born, believing he was one of them. A big purple one of them, true, but one of them nonetheless.
I see you, my little glowing friend.
Seeing and catching are two different things, a big boy.
Yeah, you better run.
I don't give you much control when you're charging.
What's the matter, little Spyro? You can't fly? Oh, that's right, you walk everywhere. That's too bad.
You're toast when I catch you.
Hang on. I'm just turning it up a slight bit. I would like to hear it a bit better.
Must be tough to lose all the time.
Huh?
Alright, let me out of here, you overgrown fungus. Spyro, seriously, lend me a hand here, will you, brother?
Geez, Sparks, I don't know. Frogweed's gotta eat too.
Spyro, whack it! Do something! I'm your buddy! My wings are getting moldy! Ugh. Now I smell almost as bad as you do. And that's pretty bad. See you later, sucker!
So much for gratitude.
I think, as you can tell, this game has a much more combat-oriented focus. I mean, you were always defeating enemies in the original trilogy and the two games after, but it was always more simple, right? It was blow fire or charge into them, do a horn slam or whatever. Here you're, yeah, you're doing that. Hitting B.
Hey, that's cheating. We're not allowed in there.
Excuses, excuses. Catch up or give up, Chunky.
A, B, 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 B.